Good morning or good afternoon. Welcome to our webinar, Business in a Box, Introduction to VersaStudio BT-12. My name is Lili Hunter. I am Product Manager for Textiles and Consumable Supplies here at Roland. So I am so excited that you are joining us, and we're going to go over live on this printer. And you're going to see how to use it, and by the end you're going to be experts. So let's get started and let's go over some of the things we are going to look at. So back to the PowerPoint real quick. All right, so I want to share with you some of the items we're going to be talking about. First off, we're going to talk about the business in a box. What comes in this business in a box and what else you need to get started. Then we will go over how easy it is to set it up, how easy it is to use it. And like I said, by the end of this webinar, you guys will be pros at it. All right. And we're going to take a look at some of the potential ROIs. So we have just a few different applications for you all to take a look at. So, we're looking at different costs, material costs, just to give you guys an idea. All right, so let's get started. In regards to business in a box, for under $5,000, what do you get? So you get the DTG printer. And what is a DTG printer? It is specifically to print directly onto cotton products, at least 50% cotton products. Then you have the finisher, which I like to call our little easy bake oven. And that's what you use to cure the inks. Then it comes with an A4 size cassette tray. So the printable area on the fabric is around 8 inches by 11.6 inches. Then if you do not already have a design software, or even if you do have a design software, we offer the Roland design software, which is very, very, very simple to use. So we're going to actually go through the software and see how to use it. Lastly, it comes with cleaning supplies. Depending on your usage, it may be up to 12 months supply, maybe less. So you at least have something to get started with. So what do you need to get started? You need, in addition to the equipment, you need your inks. It is a CMYK printer. So that means that there's no white ink. So it prints on white to light color fabrics. And like I said, this is a DTG printer, so you need your cotton blanks. It can be t-shirts, it could be baby products, it could be napkins and linens and towels, tea towels. So you are not limited to t-shirts only. We've got, we need your computer to use this. And you also need to make sure you get a USB 2.0 cable, so that way it connects your printer to your computer. So inks, and I'll show you where the ink cartridges go, what they look like. The CMY cartridges are $71.99 each, and each cartridge is 100 milliliters. And the black cartridge is a little bit larger. That is 140 milliliters, and it's $86.99 per cartridge. All right, so just to take a look at some of the different popular applications, we've got clothing, t-shirts with the clever sayings, onesies and baby wear, pet wear. There's lots of dog shirts, and I don't think you can put shirts on cats yet, but hey, if you want to give it a try, you can. You can definitely be a pioneer in that cat shirt market. Then there's tote bags and cushion covers. That's just a variety of different things that you can use. And we have some samples, which I will show you later as well. And you'll see that it is a compact design for the printer and the oven. Now, you don't need to stack it. If you have the room and space, you can definitely set it side by side. However, if you are running low on room, then go ahead and stack it. So it's great for your home, an office space, schools, events. It travels really, really well. So if you are not in the printing business, but you want to offer printing as a value-added service to your customers, this is a great printer for you. So like I said, it's very, very easy to set up very easy to use. So the bottom line is, if you can set up your home office printer, which this product looks very much like a home printer, then you can set up the BT-12 and the finisher. It is very much like a desktop printer. And if you can download the printer driver and download the software, you're set. No special training. I'm just going to show you a few tips and tricks on how to use it, and off you go to making money, printing products, and having lots of fun with it. All right, so let's go live and take a look at everything. So I'm going to come around. So once again, I purposely have everything off. So in the box, you're going to have, so there's going to be two boxes. The first box, we will have the printer. This is this unit up here. Then you will have the cassette tray, as I was saying. And here, and also in that same box, you're going to have your cleaning supplies. And then your second box will have your finisher oven. All right, the oven is roughly about 36 pounds. And the printer is a little bit heavier, maybe around 40, 45 pounds. So definitely get some help to lift it so you don't hurt yourself. All right, so out of the box, the cassette tray, there's going to be packaging everywhere. The cassette tray will have this cover on it. So it serves as a cover, but also serves as a template. And I'll show you when I go live in regards to when we actually make our print our stuff. So the temptation is try to pop it off, which I did. It's not going to pop off unless you want to break it. So just gently slide it off. All right. And here's the A4 size tray, so you can see the printable area. I'm going to show you an optional tray. This is a good tray if you are going to make baby products, all right, or smaller items. It doesn't have to be baby products. So this is the A5 tray. So the printable area is roughly 8 by 5.5 inches. All right. So anyways, like I said, make sure, I'm going to come around this way, you'll have the power cord, so make sure you get the little USB 2.0 little cord cable, so that way you can connect it to your printer. And the cord hides neatly on the side and everything. All right, so you've unloaded everything, taken all of the packaging off. Here are the inks. All right, so here are the cartridges. Here are the 100 milliliter cartridges. And here's the black 140 milliliter cartridges. And there are instructions on where the ink cartridges are supposed to go. Say you weren't paying attention and blah, 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 we're talking, we're on Facebook. And if you try to slide the cartridge in where it's not supposed to go, it will not allow you to. So it's very foolproof. All right. Roughly 7 minutes to ink up for the first time. You will pop the cartridges in, you turn on the power, and it will tell you on the little screen. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and power on. So we'll go ahead and switch to the close-up. There it is. And so it'll just kind of prompt you. So it'll tell you to set the tray. So just gently set the tray in, all right? And you don't need to push it all the way in. There is a little sensor, and just wait for it. Sometimes the alert is still on, the little red light telling you to set the tray. Sometimes you may need to do a little wiggle to make sure that it clips in. So like I said, don't push it all the way in. All right, so what I'm gonna do first, and this is good to do periodically, is a nozzle test. All right, especially if you have not used your printer in a while. So I'm just using a regular piece of copier paper. I am just setting it on the tray. All right, so now I'm going to press this little down arrow, which is also the menu button. So I'm going to press it until I see maintenance. All right, so here it'll say menu, maintenance. Press this pound key, which is also the enter key. All right, and your first option is nozzle check. Yes, that's what I want, so I'm going to hit enter. And it'll tell me, press the pound key to print pattern. Now it's processing. and maintenance is in process. So that's just saying, you know, if you haven't used it in a while, it's just going to do a quick little nozzle cleaning. And then we're going to, oh, it'll tell you to press the start key. All right. So now the tray is just raising up. Now this is actually a good alert to be aware of. It's telling me to press to adjust the height. So let's see if we can switch the camera to the other camera. So it's a little hard to see. When you look through here, there is a little red laser beam. And as I look into it, I can see that the paper is interfering with it. So this is a preventative maintenance to make sure that there's no head crash. The print head's not going to crash. So all you have to do is there's the adjust head height. While I'm pressing the down arrow, I'm going to look to see that I want to make sure that the red beam goes all the way across, that there is no interference. All right, so basically the printer will tell you if you have not set it all the way. So let's say this looks good. I'm going to press start. It's going to try again and see what it's going to do. All right, so at this point, like I said, if there's still some interference, it will not proceed. Okay, so here is your print test. Let's see, which camera? Woo! All right, so this is making sure that all your nozzles are firing. All right, so I'm going to do a second test. I'm going to flip the paper over because I'm cheap and I like to reuse things. And it's also in the maintenance menu. I want to make sure that the print head alignment is good. So I'm still in the maintenance menu. I'm going to press the down arrow until I see head position. All right, I'm going to hit enter, which is the pound key. And then it's going to print the test pattern. Yes, that's what I want, so I'll hit the enter key. It defaults to t-shirt fine, which means it's a t-shirt product in a fine print mode. That's what we want to use, so I'll hit enter. It's processing, and it'll tell me to press the start key when it's ready. So once again, the cassette tray will rise up, and if there's no interference, looks like the paper interfered again, so we're going to adjust the head height. So as it lowers, yeah, I can see the red beam go across. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and press start. So the purpose of this particular test is to make sure that the print heads are aligned, so that way you'll notice in your output that there's no fuzzy or misaligned prints. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and show you up here. All right, so there are 3 lines, A, B, and C. And what you're going to do is try to pick out which number has the best and most aligned prints from the block to the vertical lines. All right, so when you look at that, and you will go back into the menu and set some of these different settings. It's going through an automatic maintenance right now where it's just cleaning the print head, making sure everything is good. So in the meantime, I'm looking at A, and 0 looks great. Everything looks aligned. I'll enter 0 for that one. For B, I'm going to go ahead and enter, if it's hard to see which one, there could be two measurements that could look very similar. Just pick the best one. This is not an exact science where it has to be exact, as long as it looks aligned. And then C, I will go ahead and choose +1. +1 and +2 look very, very similar. All right, so while the maintenance is going on, I want to at least bring something up in regards to when you first get your finisher oven. And You may also notice in the box that there's no power cord. That's because their power cord is in a box that's inside your finishing oven. And it's locked. So how do you get it? So here's a trick. Get a credit card or something that is a little bit rigid, and we're going to unlock it using this card. And disclaimer, Roland does not endorse using a credit card to unlock anything else other than this. Okay, so find the little opening that's right over here, and in the middle, you're going to slide, and you're going to feel this little latch. So that helps you open it. And then remove the box that has the power cord. So that's how you get your power cord. Okay, so I've done that. The other way to unlock it, if you forget to do the sliding method, is just to power on. Now the good thing is it does not automatically heat up, so it now is unlocked so you can actually get the stuff out. So when you power on, it automatically defaults to a standard setting. I want you guys to change it to a Pro 2 setting, and the reason why is the Pro 2 setting has better wash durability. It has a higher temperature. Your fabric in the cassette tray raises up during the curing process to get it closer to the heating element. The heating element is right on top. All right, so that cures the ink better, so you get better wash durability. So without any pre-treatment, your wash durability in the Pro 2 setting is roughly up to 20 washes. In the standard setting, you're looking at up to 10 washes, if that much. All right, so how do I change it from standard to Pro 2? You're going to press these two buttons together. It's the temperature button and the time button. And press and hold. You'll see Pro as the next step, and then I'm going to press and hold again, and it says Pro 2. That's what I want. When it's time to heat up your finisher oven, there's a little blue backlight under preheat. Press that, and the heating process starts. All right, so our printer has finished its maintenance, so I'm going to go ahead and set the head position. So let's go back up, and we're still in the menu. We'll continue to do arrow down until I see head position adjustment. I'll hit enter. This is for t-shirt, fine. I'll hit enter again, so it'll tell me A. I'll hit enter, which is the pound sign, and I'll keep it at 0. It defaults to 0, so I'll hit enter. Give it some time, and then it comes back out to the number, so I will press a down arrow to B. Hit enter, and for B, I actually want this, I changed my mind. I want it at 1. So I'm going to hit the up arrow until I see 1, and then hit the pound sign to accept it. And then now it will take me back to the main menu. I'll hit the down arrow to C, and for this one, I want 1 as well. So just follow the prompts to hit enter, the arrows. It's very, very simple. Whoops, I did a little bit too much, so I just needed to go to number 1, hit enter. When you're done with everything, hit the little escape key until you go back to the main menu where it says ready. All right, and that's when you're ready. All right, so that's what you do to first prep and get ready. Okay, so while everything's heating up, let's go back and look at a few more slides just to go over some things. All right, so this is your basic step to use this printer. You're first going to design, then you put the fabric into the cassette tray, then you hit pre-press. This pretty much takes out the wrinkles and moisture out. Then you put the cassette into the printer, and that's when it starts printing. Then it goes back into the finisher oven, and that's when you cure. That's basically it. And in regards to finishing mode, this is where I showed you where we changed it from standard to Pro 2 because it has the best wash durability. All right. So real quick, low cost does not mean low quality. You have 2 print heads in this printer. So you have variable dot printing, and we have some images just to show side by side between our printer versus competitors' printers that are higher priced. Very, very similar in print quality. All right, so just to let you know, this little business in a box is in a unique market in regards to usage, time, to skill level, to low cost. It's on the low end. It's very easy to use. It's for someone who may print up to 250 shirts per month, and it's low cost. All the other DTGs hover in the middle, where there is a bigger learning curve and it's higher in cost, usually $15,000 to $45,000, and then you have those that are really more expensive, faster, and more bells and whistles. So this is a great printer, very unique, where it allows you to get into this market with not only the printer, but the oven comes with it as well. All right, so I'm going to show you the Roland design software that comes in. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this software. Very, very, very simple. All right, we're going to go ahead and choose Advanced Designer. So on this first page, we're just going to pick what garment we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and do t-shirt. It's a normal thickness. It's not too thin. A4 is the cassette tray size that I am going to use. Now I have a choice of either portrait or landscape. I'm going to go ahead and choose landscape for this design. Okay. So here's the next page. As you can see, the little area that you're going to be importing your graphics in is already set to landscape. So as long as you keep everything in this box, it will print accordingly. All right, so you have your camera features. All right, so if your laptop, hi there. So we can take a selfie and use it. You can always import an image. Yes, I like making silly pictures. All right, so here with this image, just to pop it up a little bit more, I'm going to play around with the brightness and contrast. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim it. Yes, folks, I am the product expert, and this is who you're listening to. All right, we can import an image. So it takes JPEGs and PNGs. Now, if you have other PDFs, TIFF files, BMPs, you can always connect this printer directly to your design software if you have Illustrator, Photoshop, Corel Draw, or anything like that. All right, so I'm just adding different things. I'm going to add my text. I'm going to choose my font. There's just a few fonts, not that many, but you know, this is a good start. All right. Oops. Just a little homage to one of my favorite Pixar movies. And you can add, basically you can add up to 5 elements, not including the text. So far these 2 images are 2 of the 5. And like I said, to pop up the brightness in your prints, go ahead and change the brightness and contrast. All right, there are some included illustrations that you can pick from. So those are fun to use. Or you have these artwork, which they're in black. And you can also add some frames, some fun frames. And some of the frames kind of cut things off, so you choose accordingly. So this one, you can't really see Roland, so I'll just move Roland. All right, we're done. So this is the extent of my design. This is why I'm not in marketing, but product management. So here it is. So if I want to take a look at what it's going to look like, I'll hit preview. I think I like it. We will print it in a little bit. So now let me prep the shirts and get everything ready. All right, so we're going to go back live. I'm going to come around. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out the cassette tray. So basically, you just open it this way, and you're going to be loading in your shirt. So this is an extra large shirt. If you are going to be printing it in portrait mode, you want the top of it down towards you, towards where the opening latch is. If you're printing it in portrait, landscape mode, you're going to have it loaded where the top of it faces to the right. Now, the big question is, how do I make sure everything is aligned? I want to make sure that the print's not coming out uneven. So you could either eyeball it, but the other thing is, use this little cover that comes with it. So this is going to be your guide. So I'm going to just move some things around. And what you're going to do is you are going to use this brand of markers. It's from Pilot. It's called Friction Color, F-R-X-I-O-N. So basically, it's erasable marker pens where the inks are going to dissipate with heat. So I'm going to just go ahead. I picked these up at Staples. You can get them online at Amazon.com. So I'm just going to pick one of the markers. So what you're going to do is you are going to lay out your shirt. And I usually do about the 4-finger rules from the top of the collar. Let me show you what that means, to see where the start of the graphics should be. Everyone has their own rules, so that was one of mine. So I'm going to set it to the side, and there are little holes here for you to mark. So this is for the A4, so this is the A4 size. If you're going to use A5, just flip it over this way, and you're going to use this smaller area to mark your area. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and put this down, make sure everything looks nice and even, and then with my marker, I will go ahead and place little dots in the holes, and the marked area will be used to align onto your tray. All right. So here I go. Now, as I align this, the trick is making sure that everything can be tucked in nice and neatly into the cassette tray. So the question is, well, can I print onto sweatshirt or hoodie material? Absolutely. However, as long as you're able to put everything in and close it nicely without jamming down on it like that, and everything tucks in nicely, it's okay if a little bit's hanging out on the outside. As long as it's nice and smooth and tucked in, you are good to go. All right, so mind you, if it gets too thick, if the fabric's too thick, it's going to interfere with printing. All right, so this has been off for a while. It went to sleep mode, so I'm going to go ahead and first I'm going to go ahead and put it in to pre-treat. This is going to take out the wrinkles and all the excess moisture. All right, so because I wasn't using it, it automatically cooled off. Because it's stackable, it doesn't remain too hot. So it's just a safety feature. It doesn't take too long to get back up to the high heat. In the high heat, you're looking at a roughly 180 degrees Celsius. It'll range plus or minus 5 degrees Celsius. So that's roughly 360 Fahrenheit. So that's for the high temperature. We're going to press. The pre-press is going to be for 30 seconds, and the actual curing time, which is the medium time, that's going to be 3 minutes. So overall, from start to finish, it's going to be roughly 6 minutes. So this is where it's ideal to have additional trays, because while one is curing, the other one can be printing. All right, so what you are going to do is when you slide it over to one side, it is going to go and do the pre-press. If your heater is not ready, it's going to give you a notice that it's not ready. So once again, I slide to one side and the countdown begins for 30 seconds. If you are in a high humid area, and say you're outdoors, and you've gone through this pre-press, and you take your tray out, and there's still some moisture in your fabric, go ahead and put it back in for a little bit longer. You don't have to wait the whole 30 seconds. You can always turn it off and open it up and take the product out. So when you remove it, because it's going to be hot, there are these little finger grooves that you just go ahead, pull this out. All right. Also, if you notice that it's still wrinkled and you want it to go in a little bit, stay in a little bit longer, it's okay to pop that in a little bit longer. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and set the tray. Make sure that alert message goes off. It tells me I'm ready. I'm going to go ahead and send the print job through. So I just hit the print button, and it asks me once again, do I want to really print this wonderful design? And I say, yes, absolutely. So everything, the printer is talking to the computer, and it tells me to press the start key because it is ready. I'll go ahead and press the start key. I have it set to where there is a status notification pop-up. You don't have to set it up this way. Garment misfeed. This is where it just makes sure that I adjust the height. So don't freak out. Go ahead and once again, just like what we did earlier, press and hold down the adjust height. Look at the red beam that's inside. Make sure it goes across the width of the fabric. And then go ahead, press start. So like I said, it's going to take roughly 2.5 minutes to print. Everything looks good, it's processing, and it's going. All right, so while it's going, let me go ahead and look at some of the questions. So let's see if I can. All right, so just to confirm, reiterate, can you do hooded sweatshirts or just shirts? Try it and see if it fits that particular size. You may be able to get away with a hoodie that is youth size or even an adult small. So like I said, just make sure that you can tuck it into the cassette tray without jamming it down or forcing it to fit. Because mind you, it has to clear the print head clearance height, and also in the finishing oven, you don't want it to touch or rest against the heating element. So always check. Can you print on 100% poly? Answer is no. This has a textile pigment ink that is designed for cotton. So when you get into polyester, then you would need dye sublimation inks. So this is used on 50% to 100% cotton. How often is cleaning and other maintenance needed? Great question. It will do its own maintenance as we saw live, and when it's ready to be cleaned, it will prompt you. So depending on how much you use it will determine how often to clean it. Because there's no white ink, you don't need to do the daily cleaning, purging, weekly maintenance, or anything like that. So when we had this at a local show, ISS Long Beach, we printed it nonstop. So by the end of day 2, it prompted me to clean. And when I checked the counter in the little display, it showed me that I had printed 45 prints using all colors and 4 prints in black. So a total of 49 prints before it prompted me. So my theory is between 40 to 50 is when it will prompt you to clean. And it will allow you to print maybe once or twice before it absolutely shuts down. So you absolutely have to clean it. You cannot ignore it or trick it. It's a 2-part process. One, you're going to be cleaning in the maintenance area, which is on top where the print head sits. And then you also clean under the print head. There's a special tool for it. My guess is it may prompt you sooner if you have fabrics that have a lot of fuzz or something that could interfere. So that's the only thing I can think of that may cause you to clean it sooner. All right, so printing is done. Squirrel. All right, so now I'm going to pop it in the little Easy Bake Oven. And now I'm going to slide this to the left. This actually elevates the cassette tray closer to the heating element, and that's where it allows it to have the greater durability, wash durability. All right, so the countdown's beginning, or has begun, for 3 minutes. So keep an eye on it. I'm going to go ahead and ask or answer some other questions. How many prints per set of cartridges? Great question. It all depends on your design and how large of an area, how much inks you're loading it up with. The CMY cartridges estimate up to 500 prints. All right, and in regards to the black, up to 600. But like I said, it varies in regards to how much of an ink load you're putting on. If you just have different sayings or you have pictures, so it's going to depend. Also, what if I want to print on a dark t-shirt? I see a dark blue shirt there. Great question. I'm actually going to show you what happens. So actually that's a great time for me to come around. That way I can keep an eye on it. So if you have dark color shirts, whether it's dark blue, red, I just wanted to see what the limits are. Black text, all right? Black text is what shows, and this was not treated, pre-treated, or anything like that. So I chose a little graphics element for the little coffee cup that had some colors, and obviously it got drowned out. There's a lot of light yellows and greens and stuff in it. So just in contrast, I printed it in gray, and that coffee cup you could see a little bit more color. All right. So I had other shirts that were red and orange. And so once again, for these darker color shirts, black ink or dark ink. Otherwise, the colors are going, whatever colors are going to drown out. So definitely not great for photos at all. And just for your curiosity, in regards to, so this was made in landscape mode as well. And this is an extra large shirt, so it's hard to see the actual print area, but let me do another one. We were a little silly as we were doing our demos at the trade show. So here's another one that we designed, and this is in the A4 cassette tray. So once again, extra large. So in regards to print area, showing you in relation. Alrighty, so we are almost done. So you have to keep an eye on it. There have been times where there is a little buzzer that goes off at the end when it's done, but it's so faint. So if you're busy talking, it's very easy to miss. So there's a little buzzer. I'll go ahead, slide it over to the unlock. So you can see some heat, steam coming out. So once again, be very careful. Use these little tabs to pull things out. These little green tabs are for you to hold and pop out. This is also where it's ideal to have another tray. If you're going to be in higher production, have at least one, if not two trays. So let me go ahead and pop this open and take this out. It's a little hard to see, but this area gets really hot where if you use it continuously, you're going to see smoke coming out of it. So why should I use another, get another tray? Ideally, you want to let it cool for about 5 minutes. But so if you don't have that much time to wait, get another tray. Because if you have heat radiating up from this black area, it's kind of a velvety area, and you load your next fabric on, and you put it in to do a preheat, now you're making it really, really hot, not just from the top, but also radiating heat from the bottom. Then you put the tray to print. So now you have all this radiating heat going up into the print head. So just not only a safety issue, just to make sure you don't burn yourself, having that extra tray also helps with the printing and making sure your printer stays in good condition as well. All right. Squirrel. And my little dots from the markers, dissipated with the heat. So I don't see that at all. All right, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to finish off with a few ROIs just to give you guys an idea. And then we'll go to some more questions. I know we're running long, so I appreciate you guys staying on. And for those who jumped off, I know they can't hear me now, but this is recorded, so you guys can always go back. So custom t-shirts. We've seen some sell for around $25, sometimes more. Cotton blank shirts, it's going to range from $3, $5, maybe cheaper. In regards to ink costs, this is just an estimate. Depending on your graphics, it can range from 22 cents a square foot up to 72 cents a square foot. So I just made things easy and made it 50 cents a square foot. So for a shirt, it could cost you just materials only, roughly $3.32. And mind you, you don't have to do all the other maintenance of fleshing things out, purging things out, so you don't have to worry about that. This is just standard ink usage. We figure you can make about 10 pieces per hour. Figuring, the whole 6 minutes. You can probably ink, maybe do a little bit more if you have that second or third cassette tray. So that's just, potential profit per hour. In regards to canvas tote bags, I saw some online that were selling for roughly $20 a piece. Great little gifts. And I went online, found blank canvas tote bags at about a little under $1.50 each. Roughly 30 cents in inks. Once again, it all depends on how large of a print area, what you're printing on. So, baby onesies. These are great for special occasions, and kids outgrow them so quickly, so you probably won't be washing it that much or that often. So anyways, these are really, really cute and cute to make, fun to make, and once again, really, really low cost. Your biggest cost is pretty much the actual blank itself. In the pet market, dogs appreciate their shirts as well. I'm assuming they do. So once again, biggest cost there is just the blank. It doesn't cost that much ink to print. Okay, questions time. So let me just take a couple more questions. And whatever I cannot get to, I will definitely reach out to you and answer those questions, because I know we've gone at least just about 15 minutes over. So what's a typical cost of a tray? It is under $200 for additional trays. So these, I forgot to mention with the warranty. Your printer and finisher, they are warranted at, you get a 2-year warranty, and you register it, and you have the option to add 3 additional years for a 5-year warranty. So we stand behind our products. Your cassette trays are supposed to, if used properly, they're supposed to last the life of your printer. Now, it is a consumable, so it's not under warranty, but you can use it. It's sturdy. It's supposed to last at least 2 years. And can you use a heat press in place of a finisher oven? Absolutely. If you already have a heat press, you can use it. It already comes automatically with a finisher, like it or not, it's included in the bundle. What some people plan on doing is they may just pre-press on their standard heat press, or they will do the final press on the heat press. The neat thing with this little finishing oven is it's so portable that if you do travel with it, it's probably more ideal to take the oven and the printer versus printer and the clamshell press. It does get to be a little heavy, and the power requirement as well. I have both of these plugged in to a power strip, so it's not tripping anything or anything like that. Okay, I'm going to take one more question, and gosh, there's a lot, so I apologize. I would love to get through everything. I think I've hit a few of these as well. Okay. Please repeat the name of the marker you used. It is by Pilot. I know it's hard to see. It is Friction, Frixn. ION. And these are erasable marker pens. There are friction, other pens, but I chose to use the marker. So Pilot Friction, and it tells you, if you read on the back, that it has a unique thermosensitive ink formula. Disappears completely with erasing friction, or in our case, with the heat. All right, so thank you so much for spending your time and going a little over with us. For all the questions that I did not get to, I know how to get in touch with you, so I will reach out and answer those questions for you. And this webinar has been recorded, so if you've missed anything, please feel free to view it. We'll have this posted on our YouTube channel and website soon. And if you think of other questions after viewing it, you can always email us into customer service or contact us. So once again, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.